Hello, I'm Andrew Harvey. I head up the Oracle practice here at Infosys across Europe. I'm really delighted that you're with us here today. I'm joined by a number of guests, the first one being Paul McCartan. Paul's Vice President of Applications Unlimited for Oracle. Delighted to have him with us today. We've also got Zoe Benzvi. Zoe heads up our Panaya practice. More about Panaya later on. Really delighted, though, to have Sanjay Agrawal with us, one of our really trusted customers. Sanjay is Vice President of IT for Avery Dennison. He's been through a very complex migration with Infosys and Panaya, and he's going to be talking to you about how his project was a great success. There's some really big dates coming up. December 2021 is a date that we've all got to watch out for, because that's when certain support ends for versions of e-business. So a lot of you are faced with some critical decisions in the next few months, and we're going to help you make those decisions. Okay, so a little bit about Infosys. We have a 15,000 person strong Oracle practice. We've been working with the Oracle applications for many, many years. And before saying hello to Paul, I'd just like to thank you very much for the award that you gave us this year at Oracle Open World. For Partner of the Year for e-business. So thank you very much. Yeah, it's great to be working with you.
Thank you, Andrew. It is a great opportunity to talk to our e-business suite customers. Congratulations on the award. But that award came from great, fantastic year that we've had with Oracle and Infosys, working on some very, very strategic customers as they deployed across Europe e-business suite and some of our other applications.
Thanks, Paul. So really, in my mind, security and cost are the two critical agenda points when maintaining these critical business systems such as e-business. In your mind, what are the key points for the people on this webinar to consider when looking at versions 12.1 and 12.2?
Thanks, Andrew. You're right. Security and cost are vital considerations when you're talking about upgrading. It actually reminds me of a discussion I had at Open World London with one of our huge organizations, meeting the CIO and their team. It transpired during this conversation that one of their tier 1 applications was on 11i. When I pointed out that was a completely unsupported platform, that if there was a simple hardware failure, there was no easy way to recover. After a brief discussion between the CIO and the CTO, she turned white. She was obviously distressed about the possible impact to her business of something happening to that application. So when we discuss the costs of upgrade and we discuss the security issues, we need to understand also the cost of not upgrading and the potential risk to businesses of being on an unsupported platform. But enough of the scare stories. I would like to maybe spend a few minutes talking about some of the trends that I see within our customer base within e-business suite. The first area is actually new features and redefining business processes. Taking the existing e-business suite application and implementing features that exist out of the box. A typical example is the command centers. Built-in analytics within e-business suite that can easily be adopted. It's for free. I see a lot of customers, when they upgrade, they reimagine e-business suite by implementing those key features, with huge benefits, user adoption, productivity gains with simple implementation and limited cost. The second area, the second trend I see is when customers are doing the upgrade, they relook at their customization, their integration into legacy systems, and try and reimagine e-business suite in that context. Typically, they adopt new modules, contract management, procurement, supplier management. Because of the significant improvement in the functionality within e-business suite, which is already wide and deep, they decide to take those additional capabilities. The ROI in those discussions is huge. They've already done the investment in e-business suite, getting new capabilities, getting rid of customizations, getting rid of legacy integrations into old products. It's huge for many companies. Probably the third trend I see is Oracle's second generation cloud, our cloud platform. If you look at externally, you can see Gartner, who are no friend of Oracle's, making great statements about our second generation cloud. That if you're running Oracle workloads, you should be looking at our cloud platform for redeploying those applications. And that's absolutely what I see. I talk to many, many happy customers on eBusiness Suite on the cloud platform. They take the cost savings from that deployment. So they get the scalability, they get the performance, but they save money. They use that money to reinvest back into the innovations and taking the new technology. And the last area, which is not really a trend, but more a statement. Applications unlimited, that means support for life for these products. We know we've got the date of 2021 when 12.1 is no longer supported as a version. And there's many reasons why customers should upgrade, and I've highlighted some of those risks earlier on. But there's compliance, there's regulation reasons that make customers need to upgrade to 12.2. 12.2 is, or 12.1 is a 10-year-old code. So it's about time, as customers, you looked at when you're going to upgrade and how you're going to upgrade and what you want to do, and look at that decision.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. That's really, really great. And I couldn't agree more about those key points. It reflects exactly what we're hearing from our existing customers and the customers that we are talking to right now. One thing that I'd really love you to expand on a little bit more, if you wouldn't mind, is the decision that customers make between upgrading eBusiness, moving that to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, but then also soaring, as they say, to the SaaS version. Could you just expand a bit more on that decision process?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Oracle's investment into both the SaaS applications and the cloud applications have made the decision making for customers even harder. And that's why you've got some great teams like mine from Oracle and also Infosys to help you make the right decisions. But if I look at it, customers have basically three decisions. So one is the investment into our SaaS applications. That's across ERP, HCM, CX, supply chain. So it's a full, broad suite of SaaS applications. And there's huge benefits to customers to migrate from eBusiness Suite into SaaS applications, getting benefits of huge innovation, business flow, new technologies embedded directly in the applications. So there's no doubt a company can really take advantage of a transformation and an upgrade going into the cloud. As I've already pointed out before, the second generation cloud platform offers new benefits to our customers as well. They can re-platform and adopt new technologies either directly inside that cloud platform or on the side. And then lastly, which I've spent great length a few minutes ago, talking about the customers that really want to keep that investment in eBusiness Suite, but maximize the return, extending it, adding capabilities around the side, or taking new functionalities that exist within eBusiness Suite. The decision tree of those three decisions are easily to explain. The decisions are hard to make, and we know our customers need some help to make those decisions. Infosys have some great technology to help you to understand your landscape and help you make the right decision. So back to you, Andrew.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, that makes a huge amount of sense. And you're right there to reference some of the tools that we have, and most importantly, the experience we have to help customers not only make that decision, but make that decision come to life. I've been talking to a number of customers very recently about that inflection point, if you want, to start looking at what the 5-year total cost of ownership models look like. And really working out what is the best direction for them in terms of technology, in terms of cost and operational management. So, Paul, it's been great. Really, always a pleasure to see you, and thank you so much for staying with us for the rest of this webinar. Once again, we're always in tune with the same reasons why customers need to make this decision now. So, thanks again for that. We know there are some really great reasons to consider moving to Oracle Cloud. So that's the Oracle SaaS version of ERP, or it could be the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure platform. So some really good reasons to do that. But of course, you might not be ready for that just yet. So what we need to look at is the questions that we typically get asked by clients, which is, how can you help us avoid the pitfalls of potential upgrades? How can you make it as smooth as possible? Well, today I've got Zoe from our Panaya practice. Zoe has been working for many years with the e-business environments, as have her team. And she's with us today to give us an idea of the things to look out for when you're considering an upgrade. So Zoe, great to see you. How are you?
I'm good. Great to see you too. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So tell me, what are the key things that people should look out for when they're considering an upgrade project for e-business?
So I would say, first of all, look at the database version change. Second, look at the hardware changes. Very important is also to take into consideration the impact on the custom code. And lastly, also critical to look at the testing activities in the project. Good
pointers there. What would you say is the one that can potentially cause the most challenges or the most heartache, as it were, for clients?
I would say definitely the impact on the custom code. Because of the changes in the architecture due to the online patching compliance, there are a lot of new rules for coding that you need to abide by. And this means that every custom code line that refers to the database will be affected by the upgrades. And it introduces a lot of risk that needs to be managed and understood. And I would say that from our experience, there is a tight correlation between the amount of customizations used in production and the duration of the upgrades to 12.2. The good news are that we can help together with the Infosys. Since we are part of Infosys family, we can help with both business and technical skills. And together we can simply overcome all these challenges and make a successful project. I'll talk about that more later, but first I would like to show you a video of Panaya where you can see much more about what we do.
Now it's clear, standard support and innovation for Oracle EBS 12.1 ends December 2021. Organizations need to deliver faster and more efficiently. Whether you need to upgrade to R12.2 or implement ongoing changes, patches or customization, Panaya can help you take the chance out of change based on your business processes and actual usage by telling you exactly what to fix. Panaya highlights areas that are likely to break and suggest a solution down to the code level. What to test? Panaya offers a risk-based testing approach, leveraging your existing test catalog to ensure all affected areas are covered. But that's not all. We also support all post-upgrade activities, including patches, customizations, and Oracle Cloud changes. Already included is our automatic test recorder, seamlessly capturing detailed test evidence with just a few clicks, as well as state-of-the-art test, defect, and workflow management platform that integrates with the tools you use today. Use Panaya Change Intelligence platform for risk-free changes for your on-premise or cloud Oracle EBS. Learn more at www.panaya.com.
That was great. Good to see the video of what Panaya is all about. So can you talk me through a specific project that you've worked on and maybe some of the successes and some of the things that you focused on during that program?
Yes, definitely. So we have quite a few customers around the globe using Panaya in different regions, different countries and industries. Since it's a SaaS solution, it's very easy to implement. From feedback we get from customers, Panaya can help reduce the efforts of the project by 30 to 50% and reduce the risks to production. A lot of customers tell us that there is zero disruption to their production and to their business environment. And you'll hear more about that from Sanjay today from Avery Dennison.
All right, well, we'll have a bit more from Zoe later on in this webinar, but it gives me great pleasure to introduce to all of you Sanjay Agrawal, who is the Vice President of IT at Avery Dennison. Sanjay, it's really great to have you here today. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us all. Can you tell us a little bit about Avery Dennison? I know that you're huge in the science and manufacturing space, but if you could give the audience a little bit of a flavor of what you do and also your Oracle journey, that would be really great.
Sure. So Avery Dennison is a company with a 30,000 employee presence in the 50 plus country, around the $7 to $8 billion company, having the presence in the multiple market segments like labels and graphics material, which goes onto the car and different industry segment, and as well as like industrial and healthcare materials, which goes, especially the adhesive material goes in mostly used in the healthcare industry. And last division is the retail branding and information systems, and that's the division where I heads the IT for that division. And from our futuristic perspective, as you know, that retail industry is getting evolved towards the digital, that how we can authenticate the different brands, how we can authenticate the different kind of the products, or how consumer can authenticate. So we are the supplier to all the brands, and then consumers are the customers to those brands. So how we can add the entire digital value and across the value digital across the value chain of the digital through digital journey. And that's the way we are looking towards advancing ourselves, and we are already digital. We would like to move more faster on that journey. We realize that our backbone is the Oracle, and we decided to ensure that we upgrade our Oracle from the older version to the latest and greatest version, so that it enables all the new features, functions, and open in a big way for our digital journey.
Okay, so you mentioned there that it was a very complex migration. Were there any tools or any methodologies that you seem to remember from the project that really helped you in terms of making sure this was a success?
Yeah, so let's go back from the complexity perspective. Let me give you a little bit insight. Like why? Because since we are supporting a retail industry, and that market changes every season by season, means that's the data volume we generate every season. So our data volume is around and exponentially increased. Even after archiving, our data volume was around 6 terabyte with the 4,000 plus users, plus across the 50 plus countries. And then top of that, if you think of the custom object, because is around 3,500 plus custom objects, huge complexity. And we can't afford a downtime even for an hour also, because that impacts the entire our business and the revenue. Having said all these things, that especially the migration is the key for us for our future digital journey, whereas that handling in a more analytical way is the very important. And Infosys was very helpful to us, and especially their tool Panaya. And with the tool, the tool is used to do the investigation of our system, means to identify what are the tools are not, what are the programs, code, custom objects are not compatible with the newer version. And then Infosys team comes as an executor, taking that input and fixing all those codes very rapidly, and made our upgrade flawless actually. And we never face, after that we never face, definitely we will go we have done a lot of detailing around that, but I think our upgrade was the flawless. So thanks to both partnership between Infosys Panaya and especially the tool Panaya actually.
That's really great to hear. Now, one of the things that the project team told me was that actually, I think you and some of the other leadership of Avery Dennison actually went over to Hyderabad during the upgrade itself, during the program, and you actually worked with the leadership of Infosys at our Hyderabad center. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience? Why was that beneficial, and why did you make that decision to go over there and do that?
Yeah, so that's interesting actually. Like I will give you a little bit background of before that if we look at that, our complexity of the systems are very high, and then we were being targeted to complete that upgrade in the minimal downtime actually. And for being in a retail industry, we are mainly manufacturing is happens always in Asia Pac region. So the best downtime was during the Chinese New Year. That's something on January 25th. That is, and if we can't complete that upgrade during those holiday, especially in a 3 days time frame, then next window is after a year actually. So the huge cost, time, and efforts may require. So I think that's a very, very important. And to make this successful, we went to and all this work was not only done by one company, because like infrastructure is done by TCS, whereas the Oracle team was supporting from the back end. Infosys was our key partner on the front end, who is taking care of everything. And a single communication gap can fail entire upgrade basically. So that's the critical situation, and it is a very, very important for us to have the partnership not only with our system integrator Infosys, but also with our business. So all our business was very involved. Even myself, along with me, my colleague CFO was also there at the Infosys facility, and it's an awesome, highly secure facility actually, I would like to say that. And Infosys has the hoteling concept where they just didn't welcome two of us, but they welcome all the partners who are supporting this upgrade. Those are the 6+ partners, and them, and as well as all the Infosys employees who were supporting this upgrade. So that was around the 60-70 team members altogether. Everyone is staying in their Infosys hotel within their campus. Very nice facility, and we stayed there, and within a minute we can just get inside the working floor, and within a minute we can go on the walking trails also. I mean, that's such an awesome facility, and that made the big difference actually for us, where everyone is collaborated. We were not wasting a time in terms of the communication, calling that each other company, multiple partner team, fixing the issue, everyone fixing the issue together. And so that our original downtime window we planned for the 97 hours, which reduced to 66 hours, and then also planned for 59 hours. We got one issue during the upgrade, and everyone was jumping because they were sitting together. They were in the same hotel, and upstairs they were staying exactly like a top 5-star hotels kind of facility, and then came there, fixed the issue, and upgrade becomes successful. So that's the key for success, that collaboration, communication, and being together.
That's great. And I was just about to say those words, but also say, and a nice bed helps as well, by the sound of it. So if you've got great communication and great collaboration, and you're all in a great environment, then that sounds like a real success. Well, that's really good to hear. Now, one of the other aspects that I think you've mentioned to me before was actually having the leadership of both organizations really bought into this. From my side, I know that I like to be involved in these programs, especially around the go lives and the planning, because it means that we can any issues, we can very quickly get them resolved with a decision. In your mind, is that the same reason why you and the other leadership team wanted to be involved, or was there another reason as well?
The key reason for our involvement to ensure that number one, that our involvement ensures that partnership happens everywhere actually, not only within Avery Dennison or Infosys, but all the other multiple our partners. And then our team see that how involved we are and how we are supportive. We are not there to create a pressure, but we are there to support the team. And some of those leadership presence cuts the bureaucracy also, and takes the right decision on the right time. Basically, let's assume for a moment in the mid of the night, in case if we have to take certain decisions, so we are there with the team, we can take the decision, go, no go kind of the decisions. And also from the Infosys perspective, from partnership perspective, like we were having the commitment for the highest level of the executives, and that helped a lot actually to to get the full commitment from all the levels from Infosys, and our presence provides the full commitment from Avery Dennison, and as well as the executives from other partners were also there. So I think that makes the entire environment more energized actually, and that's the key for success actually.
If you've got people enthusiastic, energized, as you say, and all working together, I think that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people on this webinar today, and they're in a similar situation that you were in. What advice would you give, the things that we haven't mentioned already, but what advice would you give to your peers who are listening in right now about making sure you make the right decisions and have a successful project? What advice could you give them?
We learned that a lot of things was missing from our end. So we thought that the better planning is very important, that how many mock testing we are going to do, what are the different activities we are going to do during the mock test. Like at the beginning, our system performance was impacted during the first test. Then we keep that as the first criteria, that always measure your system performance, do the test inbuild the test automations for the during the upgrade process, keep repeating those mock till you reach to the performance. Like we were 50% slower first time, and we did the 4 to 5 mock test one by one, and we finally, after tuning, we reached 50% faster than the current version. So better planning, doing the better, more and more testing, getting the business buying, and ensure that you do the good planning during for the downtime, like go in detail for each and every activity, ensure that is it really necessary to do during the to plan during the downtime. For example, the batch jobs, all the batch jobs initially we planned during the downtime, then we realized that it can be done after the downtime. So basically planning is a very key important, testing is the key important, and ensuring that downtime management is done very effectively.
Okay, that's really great advice. Thank you for that. I'm going to be a little bit cheeky and ask you a question now that we hadn't scripted actually. So I don't know how you're going to react to that. But what's your view of cloud and moving to cloud? Is that something that's really playing on your mind at the moment? Is it something that the company is driving for?
Yes, so the key challenge what I see here, that we invested heavily in upgrading the EBS, and migration now from the EBS 12.2 version immediately to the cloud, I don't think we will do that. But do we have the vision to use the cloud? Yes. For example, Oracle has a lot of cloud products like CX, like CRM or marketing or e-commerce, it is bundled or analytics is bundled into the customer journey basically. So that is in our radar. Should we take and host our entire EBS application to the Oracle cloud? Not sure at this moment, but we have to evaluate the benefit of that. But now, should we move from EBS to the Fusion Cloud? I think we are not sure. Because we have done the heavy investment on this one, and now probably not. So whatever we have, we would like to utilize the feature of the current EBS as much as possible. Then get and utilize the cloud from what are the component is not there within a EBS, and then we determine the future path after some time.
Okay, that's good to hear. So really, again, I think it reflects the types of decisions that a lot of our customers and a lot of our potential customers are grappling with at the moment. And as you've said, possibly the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure could be an option for you, but you need to go through that process of evaluation. It's certainly something that Infosys can help with. Hey, look, Sanjay, it's been really great to put some questions to you. Is there anything that you'd like to say just before we wrap up in terms of advice, guidance, good things that Infosys did or good things that you did? Anything else that you'd like to share with the audience?
I think our partnership with the Infosys was it great, Infosys has done the great job in upgrading. They pulled the entire team together. As we see, they are very open. I think I found Infosys entire management very open and welcoming, especially welcoming their competition in their campus and staying there and working for us. It's the huge thing from our perspective, actually, from the Infosys. So Infosys has done the great job, and from the tools and technology perspective, I think they have brought the great knowledge and the quick turnaround. And definitely we face a lot of issues, lot of challenges, but team has done the fantastic job to address all the challenges and issue to our satisfaction. At the end, our upgrade was the highly successful, and that's a history within our company too, I think, and as well as history within, should be in history in Oracle, with such a large site of the upgrade doing the flawlessly. So thanks to entire Infosys team, actually. So
thank you, Sanjay. Well, thank you again very much for taking the time to be with us today. It really is invaluable to our partnership going forward. I know that you'll be very demanding in what you need from us in the future, so we're looking forward to continuing to work with you.
Sure.
Thanks again. Really great to talk with you. One of the things that we are doing together, I think, is that we're going to offer free assessment to our existing customers and also to those people that are on this web chat today. So can you tell us a little bit more about that free assessment? What does it involve, and what sort of things can the customers expect from it?
Yes, so definitely. So it has two parts. The first part is looking at your current EBS system today, doing a health check. We will map all your customizations and the usage of each customization. And in addition to that, we'll check a few more KPIs regarding the health of your system, such as patching level. The second part is even more exciting. It's a glance into the future of your EBS. So we'll be able to tell you exactly how the project to upgrade to 12.2 would look like. We will tell you what will break, how to fix it, and what you need to test. All of that will be compiled into a project plan, and you will know exactly how many efforts should be involved. You will get the effort estimation, the cost saving estimations from our assessment. All of that is done automatically within 48 hours only. The purpose is to give you all the information you need in order to assess and plan your project easily and based on facts.
Thanks, Zoe. So effectively what we're saying is there's three key things that are really important right now. The first one, now is the time to decide what you're going to do with your business critical e-business environment. Are you going to move it to the cloud? Are you going to move it to the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure? The other point is, now is definitely the time to start thinking about how to protect that environment as well and get the benefits out of the new features and functions that are on offer from Oracle. And most importantly, now is definitely the time to come and talk to Infosys and Panaya about this free assessment. We'd love to do it for you. Please let us know when we can come and talk to you about the free assessment. You can contact myself, you can contact Zoe. So Zoe, thank you so much for being with us today. It was really great to see you, as always, and no doubt we'll speak to you again soon.
Thank you, Andrew. It was nice to see you too.
So, hi everyone. That was great to have that session. The questions coming up on the chat. So we're getting quite a few questions coming through, and quite a few for Oracle, quite a few for Infosys Panaya. So while we're on the subject of the assessment, some really great questions coming in for you, Zoe. So first question up here is, how long does it take to get the free assessment? What's the sort of lead time on getting that up and running?
It's up to 48 hours, basically. The analysis takes 48 hours from the moment we get the extraction from the customer. The extraction required is very simple. We provide you a script from Oracle that you download from our website. Of course, it's secured. The customer runs that for 30 minutes, more or less. It extracts the information we need. It's only custom code and usage. No data is extracted from the EBS environment. The customer then uploads that into our cloud, and within 48 hours, we get a free assessment.
Great, thank you, Zoe. Some more questions coming through. One for you, Paul, here actually, which is about the best people to talk to with regards to e-business. Now, I'm guessing that's your team, and I know that you cover Europe, but could you just explain a little bit about how people can get in touch with the folks in your organization about e-business?
So it's the Apps Unlimited team within Oracle. So we have, representation across Europe, Middle East, Africa, and we're based in various countries and in different hubs within that, within the different regions. So we have a number of people, like you're talking about 100 odd salespeople and probably 30 pre-sales and solution engineers. We have a generic website, or sorry, email address that I can publish to this account that people ping it, they can get a response if they don't know who to contact. Worst case, if you can't get anybody, connect with me online and LinkedIn, and I will happily respond with a name with your individual country.
Great. We're going to flood your email address now with lots of questions. So that's great news. Thank you for that. As you would expect, lots of questions coming through here on the assessment. Zoe, you're very popular today. So some here. So how deep is the Panaya analysis process?
Panaya analyzes the entire EBS environment, including all the different custom objects. If it's, of course, packages, functions, but also workflows, reports, framework functions, and so on. And we go as deep as it takes, so at the deepest level of the system. And we also analyze the usage of those objects. So we provide a complete mapping of all the customizations in the customer environment, including the usage level. So it's very deep and also wide.
Okay, and one link to that actually, which is about security. Obviously, everyone's obsessed with that. So are you extracting confidential data from the customer's e-business?
Not at all. We don't extract any confidential data. We don't extract any data whatsoever, only the custom code and the usage. Okay,
great. Thank you for that. Let's have a look, see what else we've got here. Got quite a few here. One question here about, let's have a look, let's pick one out. They're whizzing through at the second. So technical requirements. So are there any specific technical requirements for the free assessment? Anything that people are restricted, that will restrict us doing the assessment?
No, we can perform an extraction even from an 11i system. So there is no technical restriction at all.
Okay. And one here actually for Sanjay, I got a question about building the business case. I guess you went through a process of building a business case before you did the upgrade. Was that a useful process to go through, and did you use any tools there to build that business case?
Yeah, definitely. I will say that this assessment tool has provided us that what is going to be the impact on the code, basically. So that's a number one. Number two, from the business case perspective, if we also define that if we don't do the upgrade, what it can happen and how it can impact our business also. So what is the cost of not upgrading? That's also we have estimated actually. So we have done the very, very good due diligence and put the detailed business case for the upgrade.
Great, thank you, Sanjay. Now I'm conscious of time here, so we've probably got just enough time for one more question, and then what we're going to do is we're going to respond to everybody on the chat who's raised a question, and we'll get in touch with an answer. Again, one more on the assessment. That seems very popular. So how do you calculate the cost and time savings?
That's an excellent question, actually. So what we do is that once we analyze the impact of the upgrade on the system, we have the list of all the corrections that need to be done and all the tests that need to be done. For each correction and each test, we have an estimation of the efforts. So we're able to calculate how much effort is required in order to fix all the problems and in order to test. So we have a very detailed estimation of the efforts. It's also divided by priority and by usage. So the customer will know where to focus the efforts. So this is how we calculate the efforts for the project. And we estimate according to that how much saving we can do. So it's based on facts, basically.
Great. Thank you so much, Zoe. All right. Well, we're done on time, so I know that everyone's very busy. I would just want to say thank you, first of all, to everybody who's attended the webinar today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your diary to join us. Please do contact us at Infosys, or as Paul says, at Oracle. If you've got any questions on today, be delighted to talk to you. Zoe, thanks so much for joining. Great to see you. Paul, really thank you as well for taking so much time to help us with this one. And then Sanjay, really fantastic. Always great to have a customer and a happy customer as well joining us. So thanks to everybody, and hopefully we'll be in touch with a lot of the attendees in due course. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.